Okay, we are ready to do block number 2 for our multi-view or our two-dimensional drawing. Go ahead and pause the video and set up your drawing with a good thick heavy borderline. I kept mine inside one. I just thought it looked nicer on this new graph paper than this parser line, but that's kind of a personal preference. You can do that however you'd like. Then come up 2 squares from the bottom of your borderline and make your title blocks. For mine, I came in 13 over for this line, 13 over for this line. Sorry, there's a little glare on the screen there. But again, whatever you think looks nice, you can kind of have a little personal preference on that. And then first initial dot last name in the left title block, block 2 in the middle, and your company name, or we'll go with DMS in the right. All capital 1/4 inch letters printed as neatly as possible. And then come up here in the corner and give the scale. We're going to go 1/4 of an inch equals 1 inch again, which means 1 square on the graph paper equals 1 inch on the block, because these are 1/4 inch squares on the graph paper. And then I'm going to go over 8, up 8 again for my starting point. That one always spaces out pretty decent, so I'm just going to stick with that. So go ahead and set your paper up, pause the video, and then come back to it and we will draw through the shape. All right, hopefully you have your drawing set up ready to go. So my starting point is always the bottom left corner of my front view. Front view is always the most descriptive and usually the biggest, usually the one that takes up the most space on your paper. Okay, so 1 graph paper square equals 1 inch. Starting point is right here. So from my starting point, I'm going to count 4 squares to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. And draw a line, which is the bottom of my block. I'm going to try to adjust my camera real quick and get rid of that glare for you guys. Zoomed in a little bit. Hopefully that helped some. Anyway, there's 4 inch line or 4 square line, which is my 4 inch bottom. Then I need to do my sides. My left side says it's 3.5. My right side says it's 2.5. So I'm going to come over here to back to my starting point, go up 1, 2, 3.5. For the left side. And right side, 1, 2.5. Try to block that shadow for you. 3.5 on the left, 4 on the bottom, 2.5 on the right. Okay. Then it doesn't say this dimension, but I'm pretty sure I have enough information to figure it out. My overall width is 4. This little notch takes up 1. 4 minus 1 should be 3. That's what I'm left with at the top. So I'm going to come along the top here. I'm going to come over 3. It doesn't give me that dimension, but I know overall height is 3.5. That takes up 2.5. That leaves me with 1. So I should come down 1, over 1, and that should close the shape. Down 1. And over 1. So that should be my front view. Okay. All right, for my spacing, I'm going to come up whatever I did here. I'm going to do it again. So I'm going to come up 8 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Put a new dot. Hey, some of you guys drew a line here to line these up on your first drawing. Don't do that. It's cool if it helps you see it, but if you do that, clean it up at the end and get rid of those. Those extension lines should not be there. All right, my thickness. I should label that. Thought it was already labeled. Thickness should be 1.5 because it's a 2x4, which is always 1.5 inches. My thickness or depth. Okay, 1.5. and top view always has to line up with front view, and the sides have to be even. So I'm going to come from my point here. I'm going to go 1.5, which gets me back to a line on the left. Then I'm going to come over 4, because that's my width, and I know that those two views have to line up. 4, 1.5, and 4, and then 1.5 for my depth here on the right.
Good question. Where do you keep those? If you have
And close the shape. Okay, now on top view, I need to show this corner. That corner is this corner. It's the same feature. So I'm just going to find where that crosses. If I line my views up like I was supposed to, that's going to cross on this axis. So I'm just going to transfer it up to the top. Okay, so I got front view and top view. The sides line up, the features line up, and I have my depth of 1.5, or my thickness. Now I'm ready for the side view. So here's front, here's right side, looking at it like this. Okay, so I'm going to come over 8 again, 2, 4, 6, 8, and that new starting point is here. There are no numbers written on this side, but I already know them all because I found them in the 2 other views. I know that my overall height is 3.5 because it has to be the same as the overall height of this one. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3.5. Okay, my depth I've already figured out here is 1.5. So my top and bottom here, I'm going to go 1.5. There. And at the top. Sorry about that. Light turned off on me. 1.5, 1.5. Close the shape. Okay, so that's everything but this line. To figure out that line, I'm just going to come over and find it on the front view. It should be that corner. So I'm going to find where that corner crosses. Right there. And that should complete the drawing. Okay, I got front view, I got top view, I got side view, and I do not need to dimension this drawing because I gave a scale. So I could hand this drawing to a builder. They could build this shape exactly with what I have included on it. Okay, save this drawing with your others. Raise your hand, wave me over, have me check it off, and you should be good to go.